Our beautiful Virgin Islands are known for their stunning shorelines and vibrant marine life. But we are facing a hidden challenge that threatens the natural beauty of our home as well as the health of our communities.
In the VI, we produce 600 tons of waste every day. That's 200,000 tons a year, the weight of about 27,000 elephants. Because we live on these tiny islands in the middle of the ocean, we can't just truck that waste away to some invisible faraway place. Instead, our only option is to dump it in a territory's two major landfills, the Anguilla landfill on St. Croix and the Bovoni landfill on St. Thomas. Our landfills are overflowing and overdue for closure. With no clear-cut date in sight, we have reached a serious tipping point.
We've been coordinating the international coastal cleanups now for, I think, about 30 plus years. So the data goes all the way back to 1986. Common trends that we're seeing is that the amount of trash isn't decreasing. So there's definitely a lot of trash that we're finding on our coastlines, and a majority of it is plastic. As we're moving towards a more convenience-driven society where everything is disposable, a lot of the trash that we're finding, it's plastic forks, knives, spoons, straws, cups, bottle caps, cigarette butts, you name it. Those are the types of things that we're finding. We can't just outright ban plastic bottles without providing a sustainable alternative for consumers.
The worst of the hundreds of tons of waste disposed of in the territory each day is plastic. Not only does it never go away, but it is also made from crude oil, a non-renewable fossil fuel. The manufacture of plastic spews 2.5 million tons of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere. This contributes to the climate disaster we are living with. Extreme and unpredictable weather patterns we've seen increase over the years, and never before seen temperature increases which strain delicate ecosystems, including coral reefs. We have to acknowledge we're dealing with a plastic pandemic. Most single-use plastic makes its way into the ocean where it becomes marine debris that can kill turtles, fish, and other marine life.
Marine debris has a lot of impacts on both the environment and us as humans. So it's probably been said already, but marine debris, plastic specifically, can be ingested by wildlife, cause them to choke. They can be entangled in types of plastic. They can also ingest it. What else? Let's see. As far as the economy, marine debris is very tough to remove from the marine environment, even the terrestrial environment, and plastics especially. So we find a lot of derelict vessels around the territory, and that is also very expensive to remove. And then who wants to look at marine debris when they go to the beaches? Like, it's very aesthetically displeasing to look at. And then also more recent studies have focused on the impact of plastics on human health. So they found that plastic can bioaccumulate up the food chain. And then I don't know about some other people, but for me, I really enjoy eating fish. So we eat fish that may have accidentally eaten plastic. And then also we know that plastics can be hormone disruptors. So that's really the impact on human health, a negative impact on human health.
Once created, plastic never biodegrades or returns to nature. It breaks down into microplastics, remaining in the ecosystem forever, in the fish we eat, the soil in which we grow our crops, and in the water we drink. A 2019 study from scientists in Canada estimated that humans consume between 39,000 to 52,000 microplastic particles per year, from water and food and even breathing. In addition to being made from harmful chemicals, microplastics are like tiny sponges that soak up extra toxins and bacteria in their environment.
But there is something each of us can do about it, starting with reducing our use of single-use plastic by refusing it as often as possible and by using renewable options instead. When it comes to drinking water, it isn't always simple. People rightfully have genuine concern about the quality of the water at home and at school. The first step to reducing our use of single-use plastic here in the U.S. Virgin Islands is empowering ourselves with knowledge about water pollutants, how pollution happens, and how to treat it. WAPA water comes from water treated by a reverse osmosis process, which results in pure, safe drinking water. When that water passes through aged pipes, it can pick up heavy metals such as lead or copper, which are toxic to humans. This was spotlighted by the 2023 lead crisis on St. Croix. Cistern water, on the other hand, is less likely to contain heavy metal contaminants and more likely to contain pathogens such as coliform bacteria, which come from animal droppings and can cause illness if consumed. How we treat these different types of pollutants differs.
My name is Amber Packard. I run the Environmental Analysis Lab here at the University of the Virgin Islands. We are focused on water. We do a lot of water testing. Let's say there are about 3 different places within your cistern system that you can put filtration, and then one after that. So if you own your home and you have access to your entire plumbing system, you can install a whole house water filtration system, which then will, filter water that goes to all of your faucets. So your shower, your kitchen faucet, your sink, and your bathroom. And they can have different components. So you can have like a carbon filter, which just filters out particles. You can get it so that it filters out things as small as bacteria, and just using its size. That won't filter out things like viruses, which are very, very, very small, or doesn't filter out some like metals, right? There's some activated charcoal filters, which use like ionic charge to filter out some things. And then there's also, people will install UV filters, which is like a UV light, and water will flow past it. And after it flows through there, then bacteria, some viruses, other pathogens will be killed. They won't necessarily be filtered out though. So there's the whole house system, right? And then you can also, if you only have access to your sink, you can plumb in something that'll go right underneath your sink, and that'll filter water for just that one faucet. So it would be great for like a kitchen faucet. You can get those sorts of things at Home Depot, or you can order them online. They're pretty easy to install, but they do still involve plumbing. And then the third place you can put filtration is at your faucet. So you can like attach one of those pure water filters, kind of like this, just goes onto the faucet. You don't have to do any plumbing. This is perfect if you're not living in a place that you know you're gonna be forever. There are also standalone systems that are perfect for, again, renters, or if you're looking to make sure that your whole house filter is working, you want to make sure that the water that you're drinking is extra filtered. Those can be standalone and just like sit on your countertop. You can contact me, Amber Packard, at ubi.edu. There are also a couple of places on island that do some water testing. Ocean Systems does water testing. There are many different kits that you can buy that will test for certain things. So if you're concerned about a particular problem, if you're concerned about bacteria, or you're concerned about nitrates, you can buy those and do it yourself. And those are usually pretty accurate.
By understanding water quality and treatment, we can safeguard our health while preserving the pristine beauty of our island home by reducing our dependence on single-use plastic.
There are so many ways that young people can get involved in reducing their plastic footprint on the community. So for one, you can use reusable products, non-plastic products. Like if you're going to the grocery, grab your reusable cloth bag. You can also invest in a reusable water bottle. Metal is a really good choice. You can share the information that you learn about marine debris and plastics with friends, family, any member of your community really that's willing to listen. and just stay connected. You know, share these things not only with your community, like in a face-to-face way, but share it on your social media. Get involved in initiatives like our Great Mangrove Cleanup. That's a partnership between the Department of Planning and Natural Resources and the University of the Virgin Islands. You can participate in a local beach cleanup. We know that there are a lot of different organizations that host those year-round. So those are some of the things that you can do.
So right now, within the realm of the natural sciences, environmental literacy is a huge component. And because should we not decide to enact legislation that reduces marine debris or to better protect our natural resources, we do stand to lose a lot. And the next generation will have no idea what a coral or a healthy mangrove ecosystem looks like. So that's why conservation of all of these ecosystems is crucially important.
The spirit of resilience shines in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Refuse, reduce, reuse is not just a slogan. It is a commitment.
And together we can protect our jewels of the Caribbean for generations to come.